why haven't I come here early? Drinking. Could drink it for 3 days for free. Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I bet you don't know where I am today because the canals might be deceiving. I'm not in Venice, I'm not in Padua where I have already filmed another video, but I'm in Treviso today. And I'm so excited to show you this city, which is another city of canals in Italy, another wonderful, magnificent place full of amazing stories, full of history and culture to discover, and of course food, guys. I have something very special to try today and I can't wait to show it to you. So if you're ready, let's go with me and let's explore Treviso together. First impression of Treviso is that the water is everywhere, literally. The moment you exit the train station, you find the canals literally everywhere. I thought before that it would resemble Padua somehow, but it doesn't, because in Padua you actually have to look for the canals, you have to know where to find them and make some effort to find them. Here instead, it feels like the water is following you anywhere you go, and the water is flowing and it's so beautiful. I really like it. I don't know if you can hear me well because the sound of water is quite strong. However, guys, it's lovely, and also I can smell the sea, which is strange on one hand because we're not on the seashore, but wonderful on the other hand, and also easily explainable because yeah, the water is from there, and wow, I love it so much. This broad walk along the canal is so beautiful. The houses are really cute with all the flowers and cute balconies. Some houses are like older, they seem medieval, others are more modern, but still really beautiful with all of these flowers everywhere and ivy somewhere. I love it so much. I mean, you know, it's so cute, and the city seems to be so welcoming. And yeah, I haven't been here before, guys, and I'm like, where have I been all these years? Why haven't I come here early? Because Treviso seems lovely. Clearly, Treviso cannot be considered an alternative to Venice because nothing is an alternative to Venice. However, if you've been to Venice already, or if you're staying in Venice for several days, I think it could be a really good idea to have a day trip here, because the train ride was actually very quick. How long was it? Maybe like 20 minutes from Venice Mestre to Treviso Centrale. And honestly, like in 20 minutes, you got to a different city that is obviously much calmer. There are like no tourists here, honestly, today, but it's so charming. It's no less charming than Venice. Like, it's so nice. I think it's definitely a valid one-day trip from Venice. Like, let's not say an alternative because it's not, but you know, as a one-day trip, it could be your perfect destination. Guys, I personally prefer to discover new cities in the mornings. I really love the early mornings in the cities. I really love walking around when the city's waking up, when everyone's waking up, and when it's not as hot because still it's summer, and you know, when there are not as many tourists usually, because we don't know, maybe there will be more tourists today in Treviso. Even if it means waking up at 5:30 a.m. as it happened today in order to travel and to film a new travel vlog, I still prefer going somewhere early in the morning. And look how cute the city is. You know, I have this feeling that the city belongs to you almost in a certain sense when you are walking here in in the morning early. And speaking of morning, I think it's time to go and find some coffee. What do you think, guys? Is it even a vlog if there is no coffee in it? Let's go. The first morning coffee is always the best, guys, and I chose Caffè Letterario, which is quite common here in Italy, which is kind of like a literary cafe where you can have coffee or a pastry, something sweet, sometimes even something savory, and you can also get a book to read. You know, with a beautiful view. Just imagine sitting here and sipping your coffee and reading a nice book. I wish I could do that, but I'm always on a schedule, so just a coffee for me today. But yeah, the idea really strikes me as a nice one. Attention, my prospective students and anybody who's interested in studying in Italy. I know there are so many of you here. The campus of the University of Venice, Ca Foscari, is located here in Treviso. So you can actually study here, and I know that there are many interesting programs here, and many of those interesting programs are located in Treviso, are based in Treviso. So if you're looking for a place to study in Italy, why not here? Because the city is fantastic. It's so cute, so nice, so tastefully decorated, and also very, very clean. And I would say that it's totally ready to host tourists and travelers. I can't really understand why there aren't as many as there should be. Maybe because it's mid-August, but also consider that it's mid-August and all of the places are still open, which is a thing that you cannot really see anywhere in Italy. Most places are closed in Bologna already. Here instead, everything is open, life's going on. I love it so much. I think it's a perfect destination for students, but also, yeah, for travelers, absolutely. Personally, I think that if you have to choose between the campus of the University of Venice in Venice or here in Treviso, I would personally choose Treviso because it's calmer, there are less people, there are so many nice cafes and bars where you can have coffee or study or meet your friends. And I think it's much more difficult to do in Venice, because when you're in Venice there aren't as many cafes and you're like really restricted to those that you have there, and there are so many tourists, there are so many people, like you can't really study calmly and quietly. And here instead I think it's totally possible, and the cost of living would be obviously way lower here. So yeah, the University of Venice is actually very good. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk more about it and make a separate video about the University of Venice. However, yeah, if I had to choose, I would totally choose Treviso. Guys, I know I'm getting so carried away by my own impressions of the city because I love it. However, here we're going back to our regular kind of historical content. However, guys, here there is the Logi dei Cavalieri, the Loggia of the Knights, and it is called so because during the medieval times only the knights and nobles were allowed inside here, where they gathered together to discuss their affairs. So yeah, luckily we can all walk here today, even though I'm not a knight, not a man, clearly, but yeah, let's walk here. Look, there are the remains of these frescoes on the walls, and I can only imagine how beautiful it used to be. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret. Palazzo dei 300, this fancy Romanesque palace behind my back, used to function as the governmental palace, as the public assembly palace, you know, and it is called so. Trecento means 300 in Italian, and it is called so because the public assembly, the government, used to be composed by one half of the noblemen and the other half of just regular citizens. So yeah, medieval democracy maybe. Well, it sounds interesting, you know. That's really interesting that basically each city in Italy has this history of a very particular form of government, and the forms of government were very, very different across various regions and various Italian cities. I find it fascinating. I find everything fascinating about Italy, you probably know that by now. But yeah, it's really interesting to learn more about how the cities were governed, and you know, the public participation, the citizen participation was apparently very high here. Guys, I'm not even sure I'm allowed to say the name of this fountain without being blocked on YouTube, because when I was researching it, Google advised me that my safe search was off. Anyway, this is the copy of the original fountain that was put in Treviso after a very severe drought, and since the 18th century, every time a new podesta was elected, for 3 consecutive days, red wine flowed from one breast of this fountain and white wine from another, and the people of Treviso could drink it for 3 days for free. And today this fountain, like this one, as I said, is the copy because the original was heavily damaged and is now located underneath the Palazzo dei Trecento, like in the loggia of Palazzo dei Trecento, and you can see it, however, it's under the glass protection, and yeah, here you can still admire what it looked like, although there is no wine today, just the water. But I can tell you that finding a moment where there is nobody around is really difficult, because even though Treviso is not overcrowded with tourists, there are so many people here at all times.
We'll be alright, just you and I, singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside, gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, you.
Even though you can't drink the wine from the fountain anymore, there is a very important happening here in Treviso each October. If I'm right, it happens each October, hopefully so each year. That is called Ombralonga, the festival of wine, kind of like a festival of wine, when you're given a glass and you go around and you're given a map with all the places that participate, and you go around the city drinking, trying local wines, but also trying local dishes, of course, helping the economy of the city, enjoying yourself, enjoying your time, enjoying this region. I think that would be a really cool idea to come here in October for this festival, if there is one this year, and film it for you guys. I don't know what will happen afterwards, but we should absolutely try it. Guys, Canale de Bruyne is probably the highlight of my today's visit. I came here deliberately because I wanted to show it to you, and I also wanted to see it myself. As I said, it's my first time in Treviso. Look how beautiful this place is. If this city could become even more charming, it has just become so. Look at this canal, at all the flowers and all of these magnificent houses overlooking the canal, and also there is the other side of the street overlooking the canal as well. Just be careful here. That is as magnificent with all the flowers here. I love how many flowers are here in Treviso, and I also love all these wonderful houses and these beautiful architecture and the remainings of the frescoes on like every second house here. And yeah, the water is everywhere, and I think it just gives this special character, special charm to the city, seeing the water. And also we've seen quite a lot of little ducks, which was nice. And interestingly enough, you know, although it's very hot, the water is like, it's not high, but still there is water in the canals, and it doesn't smell as, you know, if you know, you know, guys. It sometimes smells when it's so hot and there is lots of like water in canals, but here it's flowing, like it's not stagnant, and I like it. And it's also very clear, which is amazing, which is wonderful. I think Treviso is a perfect place if you just want to have a nice walk, a nice calm walk, relaxing walk. And there are so many places to see and so many places to go. Why not visiting this city? Finally, guys, the moment has arrived to try the local speciality that I was talking about before. You cannot visit Treviso without trying tiramisu, because tiramisu was invented here. One of probably the most famous Italian desserts in the world was invented here, and there is even an academy of tiramisu. And according to their website, tiramisu was invented in one of Treviso's brothels, and it was used an aphrodisiac. I think this legend might actually be true, because this is the most official story of its origin. But the most important thing is that tiramisu is such a good dessert. It's fantastic. I love it. I'm a huge fan of it, and I think this wasp is also a fan of it. Hopefully it doesn't attack my tiramisu, because, guys, look at it. It's an art piece. It's a work of art. I think this is probably the cutest tiramisu I've ever had, but let's also try it. And it's the tastiest. Absolutely the tastiest, because it's so fresh and so morbid, and the cream is absolutely amazing. And there are different ways of making tiramisu. I think this one is probably the most original, because, yeah, as I said, Treviso is the birthplace of tiramisu. And this place where I'm trying it today is one of the most recommended to try tiramisu in Treviso, and I will leave you a link down below in the description box to all of the places I visited today. And if you want to learn more about the history of tiramisu, I've talked about it in my other video where I went trying Italian pastries and desserts, and I will leave you a link up here to that video, so go watch it after this one. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video from Treviso, because I was so positively surprised by this city. You've probably understood by now just how much I loved it. I have no words. It's such a charming, cute little city where you can just walk, you know, without ending, and just enjoy the views, because the views are spectacular anywhere you go, and there are so many places where you can just sit and enjoy a cup of coffee or maybe a glass of Aperol Spritz, and of course tiramisu, which is a classic here. Honestly, I cannot recommend it to you enough. If you're staying in Venice for several days, make sure you visit it, because it's so worth your visit. And having said that, guys, if you're new here, welcome to Dramatically Expatic. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get the notifications of all the upcoming videos. And as usual, don't forget to put a thumbs up, comment, and share this video with your friends so I can make more videos like this. Thank you guys for being here, and enjoy your day.